Okay, we're at the front of the structure here today, and the irrigation guys are out here just working their hearts off. And this is the retaining wall right here. This is the retaining wall, and in theory, or what I've been taught and learned, is if a retaining wall is more than twice its height away from the structure, then in theory this retaining wall should not affect the foundation. This retaining wall that's closer to the house, that might be a different story over there. In the meantime, this retaining wall looks like it's part of a community system, tenancy and common system. This might not be much you can do about this retaining wall. One could do without this retaining wall without the permission from the community. So, but it seems to be performing well. I don't see anything really hairy or scary going on here. I cannot see that it's has dead men installed. I cannot see in the ground. I can't see if it had geo fabric, any kind of support, if it's backfilled properly. All those things are undetermined. In the yard, in the middle of the yard, the front, excuse me, this is really not the yard, this is the parkway. This is the parkway between the sidewalk and the curb. And this is where your water meter is, and that's where it's supposed to be. And they're working on it right now, but I've been looking at this, and that little triangle right in there, that's the flow indicator switch. Flow indicator switch is very sensitive. You just flush a commode or something like that, it just goes crazy. So if that's spinning, then water's running. It's either leaking someplace that you can't see, or it's someplace that you can determine that it was coming from the lawn sprinkler system, like it just was, dishwasher, something like that. When you call the water company, they will come out, and that's how they look at it, to see if you got a leak, if you're complaining about your bill. So we'll come up here. I come up to the front of the house. These steps. Oh, and this is bleeding out. This is a good example. I'll probably look at it a little better later. They sell sprinkler heads that don't bleed out. They don't bleed out. Every time this zone operates, then it bleeds out. So you lose all that water. And when you turn it on the next time, it has to fill back up, and then it sprinkles, and then it bleeds out. It bleeds out. So we're coming up to the front. 4 or more steps should have a handrail. These are not handrails. There's more than 4 steps. I don't know how attractive that would be, or that you would even choose to do that. But that's what I'm here for. That's what I do. 4 or more steps should have a handrail. We're at the front of the house. We're coming along. And what we have in here in these bushes, hillbilly home inspection, is these 2 white pipes. These are your cleanouts. Those are the main cleanouts to the house. Those are the main cleanouts to the house. And over here we have the closest exterior faucet to the meter. And that's how we check the water pressure. And what we're looking for is between 40 and 80 psi. So we just come over here. It looks to me like we've got about 65 psi. That's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So the stem's leaking a little bit. See the water right there? So we got a leaky stem. And then lawn sprinkler heads, they should not be closer to the structure than 12 inches. That one looks like it's pushing it. That one looks like it's pushing it. Coming on here as well. This is irrigation and stuff. This, at first it looked to me like it was a tension end, but it's not. The tension end's up here. That's just erosion under the corner. This rain gutter downspout, it discharges too close to the house. Too close to the house. Also, I hate to just keep going, I guess I don't. I'm doing it. So the rain gutter, the butt end on this rain gutter, you can't see it real well, but it's just floating. But the butt end is closer than 2 inches to the wall. And we'll talk about that a little more. We will. So, but while we're talking, this round, we're in the same flower bed where the faucet is. We're right here. We haven't gone very far, very fast. Okay, this round green lid here. Okay, that's the main water shutoff valve. See how the valve's buried in there? It should be excavated and lined with gravel to keep it from, you know, rusting out the valve and causing you problems. Nobody likes problems. I don't like them. I try to avoid them. This is the check valve for the lawn sprinkler system, and it hasn't been doesn't look like it's been serviced in the last year. And it should have 3 inches of clearance underneath these valves, and it should be lined with gravel to keep the mud from washing in like it has. The handles, okay, they're on the rusty side. They'll probably break off in your hands. Those are isolation handles. Isolation handles. What's not present here is I cannot find. It's not present. Wasn't required when it was built. But I'm going to tell you that you do not have a main shutoff to the lawn sprinkler system. Okay, again, that's a relatively new requirement. It wasn't required when the system was installed, but it's not here, and that's what I'm about. So that's the water meter check. There's your clean outs. It's the water pressure of the house is 65 psi. This is your main, and that's the sprinkler irrigation box right there.